When a brand starts getting serious about selling on Amazon, they almost always ask the same questions. One of those is, should we get brand registered? Spoiler, it's easier and cheaper than many people expect, but it often won't deliver the exact benefits many brands think it will. Let's clear up the biggest myths, what the real advantages are, and what brand registry doesn't actually do for you. Coming up, the biggest myths about what brand registry can and can't protect you from, the real advantages you unlock that most sellers overlook, and exactly what to expect if you decide to get brand registered. When Amazon first exploded, it wasn't built for brands, it was built for sellers and distributors. Anyone who had some inventory could list it on the platform, whether or not the brand itself was selling on Amazon, which is still the case, but even when the brands were selling their own products, they had the same level of control as someone who just bought a few units and decided to list them online. The result was chaotic listings, mismatched product photos, and confusing customer experiences. That's when brand registry was introduced. But even with this evolution, confusion never went away. Many sellers still misunderstand what brand registry actually does for them and what it doesn't. Let's start with what brand registry doesn't do. You don't have to be brand registered to list products under your brand name. Many new sellers misunderstand Amazon's pop-up error messages during listing creation. They assume they must be brand registered, otherwise they'll have to list their products as generic. However, that's not true. Amazon has a much simpler process, often called catalog authorization or brand approval. This process verifies that your brand exists and allows you to list products under that name without needing a registered trademark and going through the full brand registry process. All you need are clear photos of your product or packaging that show your brand name on them. The main difference is that brand registry unlocks additional tools and analytics, while catalog authorization simply lets you create new listings under your brand name. Brand registry doesn't automatically remove other sellers from your listings. Other sellers can still list and sell your genuine products without your permission, and that's not considered a violation of Amazon's rules. A lot of brands want the ability to block other sellers entirely, but that's actually called brand gating, and it's a completely separate process from brand registry. Brand gating itself is very rare, and it isn't available to most brands. So if that's what you're after, you'll probably need to use other strategies to manage these other sellers on the platform. Brand registry doesn't treat every unwanted action as a violation. You can report listings, but what you report has to be a true policy violation. If another seller has your legitimate product and they list it on your brand's product page, that's not a violation, even if you don't want them to sell your products on Amazon and if they previously agreed with you to stay off Amazon. If someone makes a knockoff of your product and they sell it under their own brand name, that's also not a violation, unless they're infringing on a patent. But if someone is pretending to sell your brand, like someone listing a Nike shirt that they really just made in their own garage, that is counterfeiting and that can be reported. Or if another seller uses your trademarked brand name in their listing for a different product, for example, if Pyrex were to call their food storage containers Tupperware, that's trademark infringement and it is a violation that you should report. There are a few exceptions with using other brands' trademarks though. For example, it is allowed for a seller to say that their product is compatible with a product of another brand. A phone case can say compatible with iPhone 15 or for iPhone 15, as long as it's not listed as Apple iPhone case, and the listing is not listed under the Apple brand name. True IP violations are rare for small brands. Only well-known brands tend to face real intellectual property issues, things like counterfeiting or trademark misuse. For smaller or newer brands, it's uncommon to see genuine violations. Most of the time, frustration comes from other sellers listing a small brand's authentic products, but Amazon considers that normal marketplace activity. There are ways to handle those situations, but brand registry alone isn't the solution to that particular problem. You can still report IP violations even if you're not brand registered. Amazon provides a public online forum where anyone, even unregistered brands, can report counterfeit or trademark misuse. It's located at amazon.com/report/infringement. However, that forum is limited, it doesn't have an easy way to manage or track your complaints, and following up can be difficult. The brand registry platform is useful for large brands where they have a lot of trademark infringement because it's a streamlined platform that can manage those issues in bulk. Now that you've cleared up what brand registry won't do for you, let's talk about why it's still one of the most valuable programs for brands that are wanting to sell more on Amazon. Brand registry provides a financial incentive for new brands. If you're a new seller enrolling in brand registry, meaning that you're just on a new seller account, Amazon offers a referral rebate during your first year. Normally, Amazon charges a 15% referral fee on each sale, but new brand registered sellers can receive 10% back on their first $50,000 in sales and 5% back on the rest of their sales. However, this caps out if you hit $1 million within your first year. And once you hit 1 year, then this ends as well. When you combine that rebate with the other brand tools you unlock, it often makes financial sense to get brand registered as soon as you're ready. Even if there's some cost or time involved in qualifying, the savings from this rebate usually offset those costs pretty quickly. When Amazon has a listing, there may be multiple sellers who sell that product. Each one might upload their own text and graphics to the listing. By default, Amazon will take all of those content items and their system would make some kind of automated decision on what to actually use. With brand registry, it tells Amazon that you're the actual brand and the things you upload are more likely to stick. Theoretically, your updates should override any other text or images that other sellers have uploaded into the platform. Now, in practice, it doesn't always actually work that way, but most of the time it works how it's supposed to. This means your listings will usually look the way you want them to look, not the way a random distributor or reseller decides to list them or decided to list them years ago. Note that if you're a new brand and you're the only one selling your products, often updating the listings isn't that much of a problem anyway. Brand registry unlocks valuable tools to help you grow faster. Once you're registered, you gain access to a suite of tools designed to strengthen your brand and speed up growth. Here's some of the most useful benefits. A+ content. This is the section of additional pictures and sometimes comparison tables that give you extra space to explain your products. This appears on the listings when you scroll down from the top of the page. Brand analytics. This gives you data on things like search terms that customers use to find and buy your product, other products your customers compared your product to, and how often they repeat purchase. The Amazon Vine Reviewer Program. Amazon has a network of vetted reviewers. This program allows you to offer the product to those reviewers for free in exchange for a review. You can get up to 30 reviews through this program. Vine is one of the most sought-after brand registry benefits for brands that are new to Amazon. Sponsored brand ads and video ads. All brands can do sponsored product ads, which are just these products that show up in the search higher than they normally would and say sponsored next to them. If you're a brand registered brand, then you can do these headline ads at the top. You'll notice this has a customized headline and in this case a video, and it'll show like this and you can highlight up to 3 products next to it. If we scroll down, we'll probably see some more. Now these are sponsored product ads as well, which you can do either way. This is a customized sponsored brand headline ad. You can see a customized headline, but there's no custom picture or video in it, which is fine, and it shows the 3 products. Here's a video ad, and you can see it auto plays as we scroll down. These sponsored brand ads here and the sponsored brand video ads are all benefits of being brand registered. Brand stores. This is a mini website within Amazon for your brand. While not as important as the actual listings, this storefront does rank pretty well in Google search results, and as you grow, some customers will view this quite a bit to browse your products. You can also do certain types of ads that direct customers here and use it as a landing page. Creator Connections. This is a newer program. It connects you directly with influencers who you can offer commissions to in exchange for sales that they generate by highlighting your products in their content. Common content includes YouTube videos, blog posts, and social media. All of the sales are tracked natively through Amazon's system. These tools make your listings more professional, help convert more shoppers, and ultimately drive higher sales. For most brands serious about Amazon, you'll want to use these features to compete since most of your competitors already are. In a lot of cases, getting brand registered is almost essential. It's what gives you control over how your listings look, gets you access to a lot of these marketing features, and the referral fee discount. Let me tell you real quick what to expect if you choose to get brand registered. Getting brand registered requires a trademark application, but this is where many sellers get confused. You don't have to wait for your trademark to be fully approved to apply. Once your trademark has been filed and assigned a serial number, you can start the brand registry application process. That usually takes a couple weeks to get assigned a serial number. From that point, approval usually takes another about 2 weeks. Also, make sure to note that you don't need to use Amazon's IP Accelerator program. It used to be the IP Accelerator program was required to be able to get brand registered with only a serial number, so you didn't have to wait through the whole trademark application process. But now you can do that regardless of which attorney or law firm you use. In fact, the IP Accelerator law firms tend to be slower and more expensive than alternatives anyway. You'll need two main items to start the brand registry application: the trademark serial number issued by your trademark office, and your product and packaging with the brand name clearly printed. While your brand application is being processed, or even if you're still waiting on your trademark, you can still list and sell your products. You'll just need to get catalog authorization in the meantime. Make sure the brand name on your listings exactly matches the trademark you're going to file for. Otherwise, you won't qualify for the brand registry benefits later. There's no reason to wait around for weeks or even months for your trademark application or your brand registry application. If you've done the analysis and decided that getting brand registered makes sense for your brand, there's still more to do. You'll need to understand the requirements in more depth than I explained here, the documentation you'll need, and the somewhat unique application process. Click right here to watch my next video where I'll walk you through the brand registry application process step by step, show you how long it typically takes, and explain what to prepare before you start, so you can avoid the common mistakes that cause brands to get rejected even when they actually qualify.